What is happening, everybody? Started a couple minutes early tonight, only because I felt like it. And I want to get tonight's show started off with some of our good advertisers, our sponsors, and supporters of the show. So, first up tonight, we've got Earl Hopkins at hopkins-design.com. When it comes to anything website, social media, branding, business cards, it doesn't matter what you need. Earl at hopkins-design.com can take care of you from web hosting to print, logos, photos, videos. He can do everything. All the information is right here on the screen, or you can go to hopkins-design.com and get with Earl, get you a quote. He can take care of you. Whatever you do, when you do go to him, let him know that Kevin with the grind sent you. You might get a discount. Hell, he might double your price. Who knows? But just let him know I sent you. Next up, our good friends over at Urban Rides Magazine. Urban Rides Magazine, established in 2019. Great publication. You can get it in digital form or you can get it in hard copy print form. They'll mail it to you. They've also got a sister magazine called Street Bagger Magazine, another great publication. Urban, I say Urban, Daniel Roby and Jason, the guys go all over the country to the majority of the rallies. So if you got a badass bike, they just might want to shoot it. But anyway, go to urbanridesmagazine.com and get your subscription. Go to Urban Rides Magazine on Facebook and hook up with them. Great magazine. Next up, our good friends over at J&D Custom Polishing and Plating. If you watch this show, you know who Gary Dubois is. When you need chrome plating, you need polishing, 24 karat gold, nickel plating, chrome, whatever, he can take care of you. All the major players in the industry use him because of his quality, his time, and his pricing. Go check out J&D Custom Polishing and Plating and let them know Kevin with the grind sent you. Next up, our good friends over at Indiana and Illinois Thunder Roads Magazine. Another great magazine. If you're up in that area, stop in any local Harley shop, any of your local bike shops and stuff. Get you a copy. If I'm not mistaken, they're free. Check them out and get you one. Advertise with them. Use the magazine. The magazine's got so much information inside of it. You can't go wrong by getting it. Next up, American Drag Seats, AmericanDragSeats.com. If you need a custom motorcycle seat, this is your one-stop shop. Anything from custom upholstery, reshaping stock seats. If you have a Harley and you can't stand the seat, we offer a full line of solo seats, two-up seats, custom backrest, the whole 9 yards for your replacement seats for Harley Davidsons. Check us out at AmericanDragSeats.com, or you can check us out on Facebook at American Drag Seats /Attitude Inc. On Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, it's all the same. American Drag Seats. Go check us out. Next up, our good friends over at Jade Affiliated. You need something when it comes to wheels, you've got to get with Jad from Jade Affiliated. He has the most badass wheels in the country, period, point blank, the end. Go check them out at jadeaffiliated.com. Order you some wheels. Get some stuff. They've got everything you could possibly want, and let them know you saw it right here on the grind. Next up, Legacy Bike Works. Legacy Bike Works right here in Manville, Texas. If you're in the Houston surrounding areas, Legacy Bike Works, custom bike builds, metal fabrication, fiberglass, stereos from Mild to Wild. Check us out. Legacy Bike Works on Facebook. And just let me know. I'm going to be the one answering the phone. Next up, our good buddies up in Chicago, Shy South Customs, bikes, cars, trucks, hot rods, custom paint, custom metal fabrication, anything you could possibly want in Monee, Illinois. Check them out. Like I said, Shy South Customs. You can see on the picture right here, there's their phone number. It's 815-981-8638. Get with them if you're in the area. Get your bike taken care of. Next up, our good friends over at hellsspeedshop.com. I don't have to tell you guys, these guys have the most badass flannel shirts, hats, t-shirts, hoodies, anything you want. hellsspeedshop.com. Get over there. Let them know that you heard about them on the grind. I think there is a logo up there somewhere, the grind logo. Might be able to save you some money over there too. So go check them out, hellspeedshop.com, and order yourself some stuff up. Next up, our good friends over at Lift King. Lift King, if you paint, if you do fiberglass body work, it doesn't matter if it's automotive, motorcycles, doesn't matter. These guys have the products to hold your products, to do the body work, to paint them, to do everything you need. Lift King. Go to www.liftkingproducts.com, or you can call them at 888-918-0737. Go check them out. All you painters and body working guys, all you bike builders, y'all need these products. They hold your stuff while you work it. Anyway, go check them out, liftkingproducts.com, and let them know Kevin with the Grind sent you. And remember, if you order in the next, I think it's week and a half, you hit the Shy South logo, you hit the Grind logo, you instantly save 20% on all of your orders. Anyway, go check them out, liftkingproducts.com, and let them know Kevin sent you, and hit those tabs. Save yourself 20%. All right, everybody. I got through that. I appreciate all my sponsors and my advertisers. But tonight we have a really kick-ass show, and it's been a while. I've been telling you guys I want to take 2024, get back into the interviews, introduce people to people that you guys may know him, you guys may not know him, but I'll tell you what, it's going to be a great show. So please, everybody, please welcome Mr. Tim Nagy with Nagy's Customs. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up, man? How's it going?
Good. I should be a radio announcer, man. I've got them ads down pat, dude.
Right. So,
dude, let me start this out very simple, because I don't know if everybody knows you. I know you, and I'm very fortunate to know you. But tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Tim Nagy with Nagy Customs. I guess I'm generally known as the ring guy. I've been trying to get away from that image, but I have CNC work that I do, mold making, stuff like that. So, of course, make speaker rings, and somebody comes in, wants a custom part, generally we'll make that. Pretty much, I don't turn away work. So
okay. So let's start at the beginning, because, dude, you do a whole lot of really cool stuff. But I want to kind of start in the beginning, because even me, I see you posting stuff and videos and products and stuff, and I'm like, dude, what doesn't this guy do? But let's back up a little bit. Let's go to the beginning. What did you start out doing in the motorcycle industry?
The motorcycle industry, I started making speaker rings. So I believe I met Joey Hensley first. Joey Hensley introduced me to Daniel Hearn. Me and Daniel Hearn did a deal for the Victory. Then it just became, Tim, can you make this? Can you make this? And I always said yes. Ended up buying a CNC machine. Just showed up in front of my house. We took off the back of the garage and put a CNC. Didn't know anything about CNC machines whatsoever. I put it in there and just started learning that work, and the rest is pretty much history. It became a goal, though, to make it a manufactured part. So we did accomplish that this year. It took about 4 years, shit ton of money, but we just recently became the only person that actually makes an injection molding ring for Harley Davidson that I know of in the world that uses this process. So, and it took 4 years to accomplish that. So I just kind of set out as a goal that I wanted to do. Something for myself.
So, but when you started doing this stuff, nobody made anything like this that you could put your hands on right away. So you said you were talking to Joey Hensley, and y'all were.
Oh, nobody made. Like, there was Carl Bordner. He made stuff, hot rod and handlebars. So I can't say that, there's people that made it out of wood. There's so many variations. I can't say that, I'm the inventor of the wheel in this whole thing.
Right. Well, that's kind of like, Henry Ford, he didn't invent the car, right? But he did invent the assembly line.
Right. So I'll never take away from, that actually hot rod and handlebars, I believe it's 2014. Drew, I talk to him all the time. Great guy. And actually, we're making some parts for him now. that we're putting in production. So I'm not going to steal what those guys have done for the industry and basically changed how things went, you know.
Yeah. So you just revolutionized a product that had already been made like out of wood or other stuff, but
Right.
they were all individually made by hand. So there was a need for the product that you ultimately ended up making, and now you've become known for making. Uh, we purchase your stuff, but my whole point was is that you started out having a conversation with somebody, and you saw a need for a product. And you're like, man, I think I can make that.
Correct. Yep.
How did you decide to start making it? I mean, what was your process when you first started making it?
Oh man, it was all by hand. Made
Yeah.
everything by hand. Me and my wife would literally sand everything by hand. We washed everything by hand. We packaged everything. Everything was done by hand. We hand mixed that year by hand. We hand mixed, I think, 598 5-gallon buckets
Wow.
by hand. Did everything by hand, 100%.
So it would be fair to say you just took a part and you revolutionized that part, and you ultimately took it to another level.
Right. Yep. Took it to, I would say, a manufacturing level.
Right. So once you started doing that, I mean, because you and I talked a couple of years ago, we actually had one of the best conversations I've ever had with another human being. Was you and I talking about 2 years ago? And it could have been longer, it could have been shorter, but man, I'm 54 years old. I forget exactly when it was.
Right. Yep.
But I remember we were on the phone for almost 2 hours, and I was just blown. I mean, literally, I was blown away, because one of my biggest things in my life has been I love to think about things and make things. You know what I'm saying? Just I like inventing stuff. Even if I'm taking something that was already done beforehand and I'm trying to make it better, I mean, whatever. So when you and I were talking, I was literally floored that you were generating so many parts by hand. And I was like, how, when do you sleep? When do you eat? When do you go to the movies with your wife? I don't see how one human being could produce that many products.
So currently I have my, I would say, dealer network, but my customers. So I have, in the motorcycle customers. I have other customers that I make parts for. I have 1,800 customers. I have 5 distributors in the United States, 3 distributors outside of the United States that I literally supply with just parts. It's a long day. You get up. I generally get up at 6. Here sometimes 8. Depends. Sometimes earlier, sometimes later. My day doesn't end till 9:30, 10. There's been times where I've stayed the night, worked all night. But you do what you have to do, to do.
So I heard something about you that irritated me the other day. And I'm telling you this because I love you. But it irritated me because I'm like, man, that's a quick one-way path to the grave. I heard that you never ever say no. If somebody calls you, like hypothetically, we were talking about Devin a minute ago. If
Right.
Devin called you and he's like, dude, I screwed up. I screwed up bad, Tim. I'm so sorry. Dude, I've got this bike. I have got to have some rings tomorrow. And here it is, 4:30 in the afternoon. I've actually heard that you'll drop what you're doing, get them parts, put them in a box, and have them overnighted just to take care of one customer. Is that true?
As long as it doesn't become a habit, I will do whatever it takes, even if that means I lose money. But I feel that's a relationship you build with the customer. They'll always remember something like that.
Well, yes. And I'm getting goose pimples because I'm thinking to myself, do you know how many people won't take the time to even take your phone call nowadays?
I
But
take,
then,
yeah, I
but
take
then they got guys like you that will not only take your call, but then drop what they're doing, jump through hoops for one product, one small little thing that you probably aren't going to make hardly any money off of.
it's not, for me, it's not about the product, it's about the customer.
Yeah.
Anybody can, Julia's here, Steve's here. My phone's nonstop. I answer every call. If I don't answer the call, I will be calling you back. It's just who I am. I don't do the text message thing. I work with my hands, so I don't do the text message thing.
Yeah.
Call me. I always answer my phone. Always return a phone call. Always answer a question. No matter, I don't care how stupid you may think it is. I'll never look down on somebody because they might not know how to do something.
Right.
We were all.
That's something I just noticed that you just started doing, and you didn't really just start doing this. You just brought it to a whole nother level. Is it now you actually send the panel bond with the product?
Right.
True story. So me and Devin, we've been buying stuff from you. Well, I know I've been buying stuff from you for about 2.5 years now, but Devin just started buying from you about the last year and a half. So Devin got the rings from you and everything, and he was going to put them in, and he's looking all over the shop. He's like, dude, I don't have any fucking panel bond. I got to go get some panel bond. It's 8:00 at night. And I'm like, well, you better get to O'Reilly real quick and get some of that epoxy that they've got. He's like, no, I have to have panel bond. And I was like, well, dude, I don't know. I'd never heard of panel bond before he did. He introduced me to it. But then I started thinking, I was like, well, hold on. Tim is actually making kits and he's sending it with the product now. So now when you get your product, you have everything you need. That like you don't have to buy anything else to make that product go in and work properly. To me, that one thing is amazing to me because you give everything you need.
Well, that's what we're trying to do for the shops is time is money. And so we're trying to get it so when you order a kit, the customer comes in, this I want A, B, and C, ABC, whatever it is, that we're actually sending you everything you need for that build. And we get into the panel bond. I don't make any money off of it. Like, this is just something that I feel like you guys need. I would rather Amazon not get their money, and these other larger companies. So it's just something that I do. It's not anything that I do that I'm going to become a millionaire off of. So,
well, no, but the one thing that's okay. So let me say this again. Okay. Have you ever bought a piece of furniture from IKEA? Anything?
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah. Well,
and
so
Gardner White is what's up here, so that's
yeah. So when you get that bookshelf, the bookshelves come with the hex key, and they come with a little cut out little wrench specifically to put that together. Whenever you get those things, I remember, dude, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, you'd buy that stuff, you'd spend half a day looking for the right socket, or you'd look at the right wrench or the right, Allen key.
We even send you the drill bit now.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. You even send the damn drill bit.
Somebody's going to end up with like 1,000 1/8-inch drill bits.
Yeah, especially whenever someone's buying in quantity over and over and over and over. Dude, I'm literally going to save every single one of the drill bits. I'm going to save every one of them from here till you decide you're done doing it.
Right.
And then I'm going to grab that pile of drill bits and I'm going to mail them back to you. And I'll be like, dude, this is a testament to how much we've done and how much you can. Dude, it's amazing that you take that time in your product, but it's not even in your product. You're taking care of the actual guy in the garage, building the bike, doing the thing, and making sure he has everything he needs. That is amazing to me.
But for that $1, the drill bit cost me $1. Buy it from a company, buy 1,000 at a time, so I get a good deal on them.
Mm-hmm.
For that $1 it cost me, it's nothing compared to what I get out of it.
Dude, you know what you're doing with that $1? You are buying loyalty, because people know when they buy your product, it is a complete beginning to end product. I don't have to chase down panel bond. I don't got to find the right inserts. I don't got to find the right drill bit. It's right there when you purchase it. That's amazing to me. That's badass.
And we got one more part that we're working with that we're trying to get. We're just trying to fit it into the budget. Because I'm not a person that, I don't want to put another part in there and then raise the price $600.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get it so that it all works together, and people aren't paying $1 million just to put a set of 10-inch rings in their bag or a spacer on or something like that. So we do have some discussions going with a few companies to add another part to it too. So a lot of it's just building those relationships with other companies.
Yeah.
Generally, I like to stay within the motorcycle industry. By the way, I think Scott Owens, is he on here?
Yeah.
Scott still owes me a phone call on the part. Scott,
call me.
Right.
Call me.
Right. So, it's about building those relationships.
Absolutely. But the way you're going about it is such a genius way that 99% of the people out there, they refuse to do that. They refuse to go that little extra step. And that's why you're so successful at what you're doing. Dude, and here's another thing.
I make competitors speaker rings. You know that?
I did not know that.
I make my competitors speaker rings.
Well, see, then you're hitting on all cylinders. You're not, because you're actually taking. So a lot of people get worried whenever someone comes out with another product. They're like, oh shit, now I got competition. Well, no, but competition does feed the industry. It helps.
Here's how I see competition. Is somebody truly your competitor? What do you want out of life?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want the same things you want. So how can you be my competitor? You might want a big house. I don't want a big house. You might want a Lamborghini. I don't want a Lamborghini. So how can we be competitors?
Well, so competition is very good, but people that don't like competition, the ones that don't like it, it's only because they're afraid. They're afraid that they're not good enough. Yeah, I've always, like I said last week on the show, I support James Carter. I support Troy Swarver. I support Dave Voss. Those are directly competition for seats, but I don't look at it as a competition. I look at it like a brotherhood. Like, dude, we're all fucking good at what we do. Let's be honest with each other. It's good. We're good for everybody.
Right.
Because I do stuff that James won't do. I do stuff that Troy won't do. And I do stuff that Dave will not do. So we're different. We all offer something different.
And then we offer something different, but I think people take the competition too far. I don't know if Dorian's on here. I'll bring up Dorian Thomas. I had a conversation with him probably been 3-4 years ago. And we were talking similar along the competition lines. If you bash another company, bash another shop because you want that work. So let's say you have 10 bikes. You bash your competitors, knock them all out of business, and they all have 10 bikes, and now you have 100 bikes in your shop. Did you not just do a disservice to every one of them customers because you cannot get to that work?
Amen.
So how did you help any of them customers?
You didn't. Preach it, bro. Just keep on. Just preach it. Because that is a true statement.
You actually hurt the customer. You hurt the industry. Because now if you have 200 bikes in there, when are you going to get them bikes done? 2050. Ain't nobody getting fucking bikes done. We're all going to be fucking dead. So I never understood that aspect of it. People fuck up. I thank them for screwing up. That's, if everybody was perfect, I wouldn't be where I was. I would have never had a career as a communication specialist for 20 years if everybody was perfect. So, I never understood that part. I just never understood it. So,
well, I know this, and you know me via the show. We've never met actually in person, but via the show, you know me. I've never one time, and this is the God's honest truth, I've never heard one single person ever say one negative thing about you. Nothing. And you're one of the only people in this industry, around the grind and stuff that I actually have met through this show. You're the only person. Well, you and maybe one other are the only people I've never heard people have one negative thing to say about.
Yeah, there's probably some. I can get a little mouthy every now and then.
But I've never heard anybody say, "Oh, Tim Nagy, he's an asshole, man. He wouldn't take care of me. His shit, he stole his shit from me." I've never heard anything negative ever about you and Scott Owens. You're the two people I've never heard anything bad about.
Like I said, Scott Owens, and I told you this before. I met Scott Owens in Daytona, so Scott Owens is literally one of the greatest guys that I know. I met Scott. I said, I know you guys are watching me, because you see all this bashing and everybody's tearing up everybody. And I said, I know you guys are watching me, and I have to make sure everything's perfect. Scott pulled me to the side. He said, Tim, I will never bash you. If I have a problem, I will call you. I will help you. I will help you make it right. I will help you make it better. To me, that's something that I'll never forget. Being at the level that he is, and somebody that, within the industry and just who he is as a person, I'll just never, I'll never forget those words that he told me when we were in Daytona. One of the coolest things that somebody's ever said to me.
So, I can't tell you how many conversations I've had with Scott. His whole thing is if I have to stop doing what I'm doing to put you down, I'm doing a disservice to myself, because I could be doing something more productive with my time than talking shit about you.
Correct. Yeah.
And he's very honest. I mean, I told him, man, there's been some drama around a lot of people in this industry, and I even told Scott this. I said, dude, I get protective, and it's not even my place. But there's certain people in this industry I really call friends. And that protective side of me comes out, and I'm like, but I mean, you realize Scott's like 6'4". He could probably wash the ground with me, but I got protective of him.
I gotta like Scott because he drinks Red Bull too. So
you guys in that Red Bull, y'all be careful.
No,
we just talked about that.
There's a lot of there's a lot of things that happen. So like Scott, I know I can talk to about certain things. There's Jay, my wife was going through cancer. People know the story. She's almost a year cancer free. My ex-wife died. So Jay from Backyard Baggers, hangs out with Joey. The guy's great,
Yeah.
He's been there for me. Zane, Curly, Curly's an awesome guy. Dan Roby, I can't thank Dan enough for just what he's done. There's so many people that have come in my life this last year that has just been amazing, and it's been a real blessing, especially everything that I went through. I was getting up at 6 a.m. I would go to the hospital, have breakfast with my wife, come to the shop. I would work till noon, go have lunch with her, come back to the shop, work till dinner time, go have dinner with her, come back to the shop and work till 9, 10 o'clock at night. And I was doing that every single day. So there are times where it was hard, you just wanted to break down. You didn't know what you were going to do. You didn't know the world was fucking ending, half the time.
Yeah.
And my ex-wife, my kid's mom, she also passed away during that time. When we found out that Noelle had cancer, she found out that she only had 6 months to live. So it was just a terrible time. So those guys really helped me through what I was going through, and people don't see that part of the business. They don't see the stuff. They don't see what you're going through. They don't see the shit that's happening, but they're always in your ear, when to press your buttons. And so I'm thankful for a lot of these guys in the industry, Brian Barber, just so many of these guys. They just came together. Bull from the list could go on,
Yeah.
From Mid-Coast. It was such a hard time, and people don't know what a person's going through in business. You have a personal life. everybody on Facebook sees, oh, you know, Tim made this, you know, they don't see all the bullshit. So,
Well, that was one thing that you and I discussed last week, was that there's a dark side to owning your own business. And it doesn't just have to be motorcycles. It happens to be motorcycles with us. But there is a very dark side to this that people don't see and they don't get it. And nobody ever wants to put it out there that, you know, if you guys knew what I went through the last 90 days of my life, but yet you don't know it because I'm not talking about it on here. But there's a couple of people that I make phone calls to on a regular basis. They know exactly what's going on in my life.
Yeah, I talk to Zane every day, 7 days a week. We pretty much talk.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing, is they don't know that. They don't know. They're like, holy shit, you went through that?
Right. Yeah.
What? Why didn't you say anything? Well, dude, because there's parts of my life that are private, that are not out there for everybody.
But I don't think it's so much being private. I think
For
it's
me,
so much that people see that you're going through a hard time, that some people actually get joy out of, you know, putting that pressure on, stepping on your neck. They enjoy it.
Wait, hold on. Today's your birthday?
No, that's Zane being a fucking idiot. No. Every day's I should be like 235. So, according to Zane.
Okay, well,
and,
happy
and
birthday.
Of course,
Just 'cause I'm
like
gonna get on the
Roby joined in on it. So
yeah.
You know, it's
well,
you know, I met a lot of good friends, you know, and a lot of good people in this industry.
And the funny thing is there are a lot of good people in this industry.
Oh, tons. Yeah, for sure, tons.
But there's a lot of really insecure people in this industry also.
I've just cut them out. I just said, you know what, I can't do this anymore. You know, I'll get pictures. This guy's doing this. I really don't give a fuck what that guy's doing. Like, I don't care.
Well, okay, so that's obvious to me now, because I'm about to go into the second gear. Let's get into second gear. So I've started noticing, like you said, when you started doing the rings, y'all were doing by hand.
Correct. Yep.
But now you mass produce them.
Yes. So injection molding. So everybody told me it couldn't be done. Like, it was 4 years of friggin' hell. Every material manufacturer, every machine shop just said it can't be done. And it took 4 years. So now we went from a set of rings takes 16 hours to make. Now they're 2.5 minutes.
Hell yeah.
So it's like, but it took me finding the right person to say, you know, I never took no for an answer. It can't work. It just took me finding the right person to say, okay, let's try it. And then it was, man, so many trial runs, and you got to pay for all this shit. It's not free.
Oh yeah.
That are just doing this shit for free. So you pay for all these trial runs, and I think we ended finally at the fourth or fifth trial run, we finally got it. So, just a long process.
Well, it's a cool process that you were able to do. That's, you know, kind of going back to earlier in the show, we were talking about Henry Ford is known for the, you know, the Ford Model A and the Ford Model T and yay. But that's not where he actually is where his innovation was at. His innovation was in taking a vehicle that took, hypothetically, it took a 1 month to build that one vehicle, and he streamlined it and found out how to make the assembly line so he could take that 1 month vehicle and do it in a day. And right. Then so what you're doing is, I don't want to get on to the who made it first, but what you've done is you've revolutionized how these rings are made, the quality of the rings, the way that the whole process. But the cool thing to me is that you could have easily stopped right there, but you didn't stop right there. You went further, and now you're doing stuff that I'm sitting back and I'm thinking to myself, well, wait a minute. What the hell does he do? Because I know he makes speaker rings, but I'm seeing this over here, and I'm seeing this.
We bought that big motherfucker right there. It's a CNC machine, 66 by 30. Just bought it, man. I was like, just bought it. So I want to get into other things, Met with a customer today. They do compression molding. So we're gonna get that work. I let it kind of go to the wayside for a little bit, but I actually met with her this morning for a couple hours. So we're gonna start getting into actually molding parts, car manufacturers, stuff like that. Like I said, my mindset is I want to have a manufacturing company. So that's kind of where I'm driven to. Is it going to be making, some of it might be making Harley parts. Like I met one guy, he does one of my parts, and he actually makes all the grips for Harley.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes all the handle grips. So that's kind of where I'm being driven right now. As a ward of the state, I didn't have a dad or mom. None to inherit from my parents. They really didn't even know them. So I think it's something cool to give to my kids, And if they don't want it, they just sell it, take the money, and have a good life or something,
Well,
I didn't get nothing for my family, so.
Well, that kind of sucks. That part of the story sucks. I'm sorry to hear that.
But I never use it as an excuse,
Well, that's very obvious. Dude, you've had a lot of stuff going on, but you just keep pushing forward and pushing forward and pushing forward. And when I sit here, one of the things I really enjoy doing is just making things. And I don't care if I'm making a seat cover, a seat pan, molding lids, making parts, because my first bike was all handmade. That was nobody's kit. So whether it was the bags, fender, lids, torp, it didn't matter. The exhaust, floorboards, I handmade everything.
Right.
I enjoy making stuff. So when I talk to people like you, and I talk to people like Scott Owens, and I talk to, man, there's so many people out there that actually make things. Jeremy Goheen, I don't know if you know who he is or not, but that dude, one of those people that just likes making stuff.
Right.
And you're one of those people. You just get off on making shit work.
Well, I saw like Rusty did this video. I'll show one of Curly's parts here. So Rusty did a video. He had a 12-inch.
Oh, there you go.
He had a 12-inch socket, that went on a tweeter ring. And I watched his video. He's talking about getting marred up or whatever. And I said, I got a fucking idea. So I literally made it, sent him a picture of it. He's like, send me that. I send it to him. So I'll be manufacturing that part for DC Audio. Well, Curly's like, hey, I got the same thing. Can you help me out? So we'll be manufacturing a plastic tool for all Curly's 12-point socket stuff too. Because Curly makes some really cool parts. So we're going to be making all the plastic tools for Curly to put in his thing. So when they get these anodized or powder coated, they'll be able to take their plastic tool and not screw up the powder coating or anodizing. It's just a video that I saw, and I was like, I have a solution.
Dude, that's badass.
I just made it, and we laser engraved their logo on it, and I sent it off, and he absolutely loved it. So we're making the mold this weekend, and I already have an large order for him. So. And we're making all Curly stuff for his. I just seen an opportunity, and I got a solution. I'll make that. So we're making all this plastic tooling so it doesn't mess up the anodizing or powder coating.
Dude, that's badass.
So it's just stuff just pops in my head, It's like I can do this. I can make this. So
could you imagine if you could get about 10 of us together in a warehouse, say one of us won that $1 billion lottery, and I just called and I told everybody, I was like, hey, I need you guys to come here for a month. Well, where is here? Well, I'll send you an invitation. You'll come. Where all you do is just every tool, everything you could ever want in this one building. Do you realize what could be built if you get the right people in the right room at the same time?
Yeah, it would be crazy.
It would be it.
But it would have to be the right people, because you can't have the people in there, saying, Well, I put air in the tire. You know,
No, not those people. No,
I did it all. You know, it's
I would probably think I'd be the dumbest one in that room, and I'm not fucking dumb.
I don't know. I'm an idiot. So
I think about some of the stuff like what you just did, where you saw a video and you say, "Hey, I think I could make something for that,"
yeah.
and then you just go. You don't think about it. You just go do it, and then you send it to the guy, and he's like, "Holy shit, that's what I need."
What's the worst they're gonna say? No.
No,
I mean,
yeah,
the worst anybody can say is no. They can't ground me. They can't send me to my room. They can't spank me. The worst they're gonna say is no. I don't think it's a good idea. You know,
yeah.
it was a little bit of my time. You know,
But it was.
but doing that opens up opportunities to do something else. You know, so if it wasn't for me doing that for DC, Curly would have never got a hold of me. You know, or
Right.
Curly would have never seen what I could do. So it's an opportunity. Every choice you make in life is an opportunity to improve yourself. You know, so
So
I never pass up an opportunity.
well, that's cool. So somebody just joined the show tonight, and I need you to say hi to him. Do you follow Werengo Eric Zajadka?
Yeah, actually, he is. Yes, I do.
Mr. Cameroon,
Yep.
EMF. This dude would be dangerous if he was in America.
Yeah, his work is phenomenal.
It's crazy what he built. But my whole point is, I wish, and I'm saying it live on the show right now, I wish I could get everybody in the industry that's a big wig and could afford it. I would love to send him wheels, a frame, a front end, a gas tank, a fender, a motor, transmission, a primary, mail all of it to him and say, boy, now you have a actual V twin. Let's see what the hell you can build with these parts.
But what he does with a quarter of what we have here,
That's right.
amazing. You know, he seriously has a quarter of what we have as far as resources.
Yeah.
And the guy the guy's work is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. When he made that motorcycle that was an ambulance, that did it for me. I was like, dude, are you serious? You just made an ambulance to save people's lives, to help people out. Holy shit. There ain't a bike builder in America that would take the time to build an ambulance motorcycle.
Right.
We did it. Anyway, I would love to be able to send him all the parts to build a custom motorcycle. I just don't, it would take a lot of people. Like I've got some parts I'd be willing to send him.
Because there was one time I did a live with Derek Golden, and you know, I would try to get everybody together basically to donate a shirt from a shop here that we could actually send them. That kind of lost traction, and it's something that I still would like to do. You know, everybody just mail their shirts to one person that we can send them over to the guy. So, you know, that he's representing us over there, just like, you know, we represent him here.
So, Eric, what size shirt do you wear? What size shirts do you want? Put that on the video right now and send Uncle Bruno a message of what size t-shirts you want. Because I agree, because I've got all the grind apparel, American drag seats. We have a couple of Legacy Bike Works shirts. I'll mail all that shit to you. I'll mail you a couple hats and everything. I'll mail all that because I would love to see him with just so much that every time he goes live or every time he does something, you realize that guy is from Cameroon, and he is a part of our culture.
I think he's the only one, if I'm not mistaken, he's like the only one over there doing that shit too.
Mm-hmm.
He's the guy's got some talent, man. It ain't no joke.
Well, I have to call bullshit because he just said he wears a 2X, and there ain't no way that skinny little dude wears a 2X. Well, anyway, we'll get him some t-shirts. We'll send him stuff over there. I will put a whole crap ton of stuff together.
Yeah. I say everybody mail it to one place, and then you know that way one person's shipping and everybody's not trying to ship.
Yeah.
Shit to them, but definitely a cool dude. So definitely a cool dude.
So I'm going to get back on your stuff because I know you're doing more. So you posted a speaker grill. I think it was yesterday or the day before, right?
Yes. Yep.
Now, is that plastic?
No, that's going to be an aluminum one. I can't say too much about it because it will be on something in Daytona.
Okay, well that's fine.
But it's going to be. But that's another thing that I'm working on with another company. But yeah, it's going to be a matching grill for a wheel that's going to be unveiled in Daytona. They came to me, asked me if I would make it. Worked with some people, was able to get what I needed. We got it all programmed up. I should be cutting them tomorrow, so there'll be more pictures up tomorrow. So
is that something you're going to work with wheel manufacturers on doing, or is that just going to be a one-off custom thing?
I would like to. It's going to be up to those guys. I think it's going to be like, I know SMT, they make their own stuff and make their own grills. I know some companies don't, so it's totally going to be up to them. I know this guy, he's trusts me 100%. Says he hears nothing but good things about me. He's like, dude, you have whatever you need. If you need something, let me know. I'll help you out. So
have you talked to Jade affiliated?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Good.
Yep. Talked to him. Really, really cool guy.
Yeah.
So I guess it's like the level of trust that people have.
Yes.
It's kind of cool, the fact that they just give me money and they know they're going to get a part is, and it's not going to take 9 months is kind of cool,
Yeah.
So yeah, talk to him. Like I said, I'm not here to turn down work. So people need something made,
Well, I think it's personally amazing what you're doing, but I also think it's really badass that the personality fits the product. You know what I'm saying? Like you're an honest guy. You're not out here to screw anybody over. You take the time. You're respectful of your peers. So you take the time to make the phone calls and talk to people. You go above and beyond for all of your customers. And I being very honest with you, when I told you, I've never heard anybody say anything negative. You know what I'm saying? This, because in this industry, as much as I do, there's enough backstabbing and shit talking as it goes on.
Yeah.
But it's very rare to hear anybody I talk to never has one bad thing to say about you. I find that refreshing. I think that's awesome because that is a direct representation of who you are and how you've treated these people in this industry.
Even my background that I came from, it's communication specialist, dealt with customers my whole life. I've had some real asshole customers. I'll tell you this one story. Go up to this lady's house, open the door. She's like, "You motherfuckers," just cussing me out. And I told her point blank, I said, "Listen, lady, you talking to me like that, I don't want to help you out. I want to get in here, get the job done, and leave." I said, "So I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to close the door. I'm going to go back to my truck. Come back and knock on your door. And we can start over." So I actually went back to my truck, came back on, knocked on her door. She was nice as could be. I spent 8 hours with her fixing her problem. It's all about how you treat people,
And that was in the telecommunication stuff you're talking about?
I loved my job there. But as soon as I hear, yelling at me, you're not going to get very far with me. My bosses, if they couldn't help me out, I would hang up on them. They'd call me, say, "You hung up on me." As soon as you tell me you can't help me or don't have a solution for me, the conversation's over.
I'm wasting time.
Yeah, there's no reason to continue this conversation. I got to get on the phone, call somebody else that can help me. But that's just the person I am. If I'm going to call you, Kevin, and say, "Kevin, I have a problem with this seat. Can you help me out?" You're like, "Tim, I don't know what to do. I'm going on to the next guy."
Yeah.
You can be mad at me all you want, but I have a solution. I need a solution to a problem.
Yeah.
And telling me you don't have that solution is a waste of my time.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't do that to be arrogant. I just have a customer. And I believe, anybody that I work with and I'm selling that product or giving something, that person is a direct representation of me. So if I work with a ship bag, the customer is probably going to get a ship bag product.
Yeah.
If I work with good people, that customer is going to get a good product, be happy, because inevitably that responsibility falls on me.
Right.
Just like if I'm selling your seats, that responsibility falls on me. Whether you fuck up or not, it's my responsibility. And most people don't want to take that responsibility. They want to blame the fucking next guy.
So so you said you have 1,800 dealers worldwide?
Correct. Yeah.
So have you ever had to cut a dealer off or get rid of a dealer because they weren't doing business the way you wanted or for whatever reason?
3 or 4.
Yeah.
I just don't tolerate it. I just don't have time for it. I don't tolerate it. I don't tolerate a customer being mistreated. If a customer calls me with complaints that a dealer isn't taking care of them, I do try to talk to the dealer. If it comes kickback, I don't have time for it. I just don't have time for it. It's not, and I tell the customer when I talk to them, it's not who I am. That's not how I want my company represented. What do you need? Let me take care of it. Generally, I'll ship them their product, get them their product, and then I'm just done with that dealer.
Yeah.
They're a representation of me, what I stand for. So I just don't. I have a zero tolerance policy for stuff like that. It's just not going to happen. I'll get a call. One in particular, man, probably a couple of years ago. I've been waiting 3 weeks. I don't know why you're waiting 3 weeks. We ship every day. So, unfortunately, I had to cut the dealer off. I sent the customer the product. I explained to the customer, listen, this is not my business. This is not how I run it. And I shipped them their product. Granted, I'm out that money, but in the end, the customer's happy.
Yeah.
Because they got a product. Unfortunately, some things happen, but that's just business, man. It's nothing personal. It's business. And I want to work with people that represent me well.
Well, you got to find people that believe in what you're doing, that believe in your product, because I know one thing is a true statement. Nobody but Jesus Christ can be flawless every day. Nobody can. You're going to have a problem eventually with a product.
Yes, I did. And actually, I had a problem not too long ago. And I took away $20,000 in rings. 20 grand. Threw them all in the trash. Had a problem with the motor. Something got lodged in the motor, threw the mixture off. The mixture's like 9.3 to 1. And it was probably right around 9 to 1. There was a problem with it. I threw it all in the dumpster. Every bit of it. $20,000. Threw it all away. Because I didn't want to risk something getting out that was not right. So we literally took, Steve was here. We took everything. We waited to the dumpster. People were actually coming the day before because we didn't want anybody digging through the dumpster. But yeah, we literally filled up a dumpster full of speaker rings. Threw every single one of them away. I could have sent them out, rolled the dice, but for me, it's that 20 grand. You can't put enough in my pocket. So that's
and it's just like, it's just accountability on your half. You're like, dude, I can't know which one is gonna fail and which one isn't. So I know that batch had bad ones in it. So I'm just gonna get rid of that batch and start over. And that way I know my product is correct again. But my whole point is that you'll get a lot of people in business, period, point blank, the end, that they don't want to handle a negative product. I mean, dude, I do seats. I have not been perfect on every single stitch, on every single seat. But when I have a customer and that, like you said earlier, that lady, hey, I'm going to give you one chance. You keep talking to me like that, we're just going to be done. But if you want to start over and you want to address this properly, I mean, I just had a customer get a seat from a dealer that I have. And I don't have but a couple dealers that buy my seats and sell them.
Right.
Well, they got a seat from a dealer, and I had no idea what the dealer charges the customer, but the customer's like, man, the nose of this seat has a wrinkle in it. And I explained to the customer, I was like, well, when you push the seat into the bike, the gas tank covers that whole nose of that seat. The reason it wrinkles like that is because the factory seat covers on an American Iron Horse, and I forget which exact bike it was, they are heat shrunk over the foam.
Right.
But when you try to reupholster that, you have to put a band on the front to get rid of that. It's life. Well, because it goes up into the gas, and he started motherfucking me, and you're a piece of shit. You don't know what you're doing. So I sent him a couple of pictures of seats that I had done. I was like, well, I obviously know what I'm doing, but because you're an asshole and don't want to just discuss this, you can fuck off.
Yeah, I don't even do that. I just give their money back.
Well, it wasn't my money because he bought it from a dealer.
Even in them cases, I still have given people their money back. One thing I learned, I can sit here and argue with you for 15 minutes over some shit.
Mm-hmm.
In 15 minutes, how much money can I make if I just gave you your money back till you ship the product?
Well, you're a better man than me because I tried to help him, but he just wouldn't have it.
Yeah, to me, it's just not. Some of the arguments are just not worth me arguing with somebody. A day's worth of work.
Yeah.
Here's your money. Send the product back. You know. Then I go on my website and I just block their IP address, and then they can't order anything from me.
Well, there was no way for me to ever. I could have given his money back, but I would have getting the product, and it wasn't my product; it was his seat.
Right.
You know.
It just to me, it's like, how much more money can I make than arguing with somebody?
Well, unfortunately for me, I like to talk and I like to work things out.
So I'll try that. I'll try that first, but if it becomes just whatever, man, you know what? Whatever.
Well,
just
I can only be who I am.
Right.
And that's who
Right.
I could admire people like you from afar. I think you are a huge exception to the rule, Tim. I think you're awesome. I think what you're doing is awesome. I think the way you treat people and the way you handle your products is amazing. It's a testament to everybody. Like I've said it a couple times on the show, I've never heard one single person say one single thing bad about you. Even the people that there have been issues with in the past have still never had I've just never heard of it.
I just had no hard feelings. Like, and even the people that there were issues, I still recommend them people. You know, I still admire their work. I don't, I still recommend those guys. If they say, where can I go in this state, and I know they're there, I will actually recommend.
Zane is attacking you.
Zane's always attacking me.
Everybody take a second and wish Tim a happy birthday.
So, but, it's like I said, a lot of cool people. So,
well, like-minded people attract like-minded people. That's why everybody is very fond of you and everybody appreciates and respects what you're doing. I feel blessed to have you in my life now. From day one, you've always taken care of me and Devin, and I appreciate you. And dude, I'm really proud of you. I mean, the success you're having, the growth that you're having with your company, there's so much to you, dude. We could do 2 or 3 hours and it wouldn't be enough because you're always going.
I have layers. From Shrek.
Yeah, I have layers. Daniel Roby said, Nagy or nothing. You've got to get a t-shirt, mate. I feel like that is a thing right there.
Nuggy on it. Like, I don't know if Travis is on here or not, but
yes, he's put it in there.
Yeah, I was supposed to get one that said Nuggy, but I couldn't get it made in time. So there's so many versions of my name that have been spelled, but Nuggy has been the
one that sticks.
Yeah, the best one so far.
Well, dude, I'm telling you, the Nagy or nothing, that is a shirt. That by itself, hands down, that's a shirt. But dude, I know you got work to do, and it's getting late here, which I'm sure it's later there than it is here.
Yeah, it's almost 11.
Yeah, you're an hour ahead. So it's actually 10 o'clock here. I forget I started early tonight. So right on.
So,
But man, thanks for being that guy in this industry. If no one else ever tells it to you, they all feel it. We appreciate the way you are. We appreciate the product. There's just so much about you. I appreciate you. And dude, I'm sorry it took so long to get you on this show. I should have done this a long time ago.
I appreciate everybody. You know, there's a list of people, you know, and I appreciate everybody, what they've done. The support, especially through this last year, was really hard. So I do appreciate that. And I can't thank people enough.
Well, we're all here. I wish I was a little bit closer and I knew all the things that were going on, but I'm very glad that there were people in this industry besides myself that had your back, took care of you. It's just a testament. Here it is, man. It's a testament to who you are, is to have the people behind you, because you know there's people out there that are just, unfortunately, they're assholes and they don't have the support you have, and they never will because they don't treat people right. You treat people right.
And I'm going to tell you another guy that doesn't make excuses, and Dan Chai South, colorblind.
So
right?
Yes. Well,
guy never makes an excuse.
So yes, he's colorblind, but he's not anymore.
Yeah, well, he has the glasses now. But you know what? Coming up, he didn't make an excuse, did he? So
no, I wish.
So people like that I look up to. They don't make excuses.
I wish I could interview him when nobody was listening, like on the down low. Because if you talk to this guy, and me and Dan, so me and Dan, and then me and Brian Barber, and me and Kevin Beard, we talk on the regular. It's usually me and Dan daily, me and Brian daily, and me and Kevin once a week. But when you talk about somebody that's got, he won't take no for an answer if it's valid.
Yeah, when I heard that story, I did not know that until I heard that when he posted his summer, he was on here, and that gave me a level of respect for that fucking guy. That he didn't use something to say why he can't do something. He found a way to do it. And
that's right.
I had a level of respect for that guy that's beyond anything.
Well, he's a lot smarter in the paint industry.
But he was colorblind and he's painting. I'm like, what the hell?
Well,
I mean, that was like the coolest thing that I've
yeah. So, dude, so you must have seen the video when his son gave him the glasses, right?
Yep.
So I was talking to Dan, and if he gets mad at me, oh well, he can get mad at me. But when he said as soon as he got the glasses, he started crying.
Yeah.
But then I don't remember if it was Brett or if it was his wife that took him riding for the day. They just went driving around town. And Dan was like a little kid. He said he'd never seen grass so green, the sky so blue, the trees. And he was appreciating life that you and me take for granted every single day. And it was so awesome to hear that.
Yeah, I couldn't even imagine. But like guys like that, actually, you know, you have a level of respect for them guys that's just unmeasurable. So.
Oh, yeah. Well, I have a level of respect for you too. So, but anyway, dude, so if you ever want to come back on here, I don't care when it is, shoot me a text message. Say, hey man, I got something I want to talk about next week. Bring me on real quick.
Sounds good.
Anytime you want, man. So go have a blessed night. Go love on your wife and your family, and we will talk to you soon. All right.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you, buddy.
Yep. Bye.
So I told you guys I was getting back into these interviews, and that was a great interview. Love it. We were trying to get a hold of a couple other people for the next, coming weeks and stuff like that. I need to get Daniel Roby back on here. I mean, that Daniel Roby's got so much going on. It's not even funny, but we do. There are other people in this industry that I will be reaching out to do some interviews, get them out here. Yes, you guys know them. I'm pretty sure all of you guys know them. But hey, guess what? You get to sit back, have a good time on a Thursday night, and talk to your peers. Watch your peers talk. I'm also trying to figure out, because Brian Barber keeps riding me like a rented mule, how to get a better format so that everybody can see the comments. He said, "Happy birthday." All right, Zane. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. But trying to get a better format on here so that we can actually have all the comments floating and everybody can see the comments, because you can't see the comments on all the platforms because we're on YouTube, the Grind Biker Build Off on YouTube, American Drag Seats Facebook page, my personal Facebook page. Everybody knows the Grind Facebook page. But we're going to try to get it to where we can get to read the comments and everybody can be a part of this, because we have so many people watching from different platforms that it only looks like there's a certain amount of people viewing it. But realistically, there's many, many more, because I can see it even though y'all can't. But anyway, tune in next Thursday night. We're going to try to have another interview. But if I don't have one, well, you just get to hear me talk all night. But anyway, you guys, thanks for watching. Y'all go have a kick-ass night, and we will talk to y'all soon.